Finally! That is the blue cassette. Exactly that one. What was so difficult about this? What exactly made this so bloody difficult? Welcome to the leader announcements for the North American regions. These were the first polls to open and the first ones to close, so why we're doing these now I have no idea. Nevertheless, let's get this over with. We'll begin with the West North America region, where 8 contenders fought over spots on the cylinder, and the first winner is Brigham Young and his Deseret, who are now finally settling down to have their shot at building a global empire. Placing great value on expansion, he has trained his settlers to move quickly and equipped them for the construction of early exploitation infrastructure. With this, Deseret is sure to become a big fat nation full of wealth in no time at all. Salt Lake City is, unsurprisingly, situated next to the Great Salt Lake, a place of strange and subjective beauty. With a lot of flat desert around, Brigham's followers will be able to make the most out of their training. To defend their new land acquisitions, the Mormons bring the Nauvoo Legion, which is convenient because it is perfectly equipped for that task. The fact that there are always a lot of volunteers to defend Deseret will also be a great advantage. The Bishop's Storehouse will ensure people get to enjoy the best of the rare resources they manage to uncover. Especially in the desert, the Mormons will appreciate the finer things in life. Our second winner of this region is the Tlingit under Sheikh I, a man who went from orphan to warlord and defender of his people by sheer cunning. The people of the Tides know what to do with blueprints, and they also know that access to the coast brings with it some significant economic advantages, which they'll be able to exploit to their fullest extent. Located in beautiful southern Alaska, Chilkat is a fortress inside a cornucopia of riches and harsh weathers. The entire west coast of North America is an oyster ripe for the taking, and it's most likely that the Tlingit will do exactly that. The Xa will be a very useful tool to expand Sheikh's sphere of influence, comprised of untiring and resilient soldiers. We'll see how the Tlingit utilise these soldiers to maximum effect. The Nu is a great tool to gain access to things just outside the Tlingit's reach that will spare them a lot of effort to access key resources. Might also irritate the neighbours though. Moving to Central North America, where 2 leaders out of an original 7 are waiting to be revealed. The first winner is Tana Del Tour, leading the Dene. This mysterious woman is a master diplomat, so I'm not surprised to see her in the roster. The soul of the tundra seems to be music, and people worship it as they worship the land they live on. Tourists will come from far and wide to see this, mark my words. Located by one of the greatest lakes in a land of great lakes, Sombake has a sea on land and the countryside to make its music heard. They have a vast expanse full of riches to colonise. The Dene are inspired by the sounds produced by their sacred drummers, which I must say are quite lovely indeed. They're also hardened wanderers, so don't underestimate them. Yellowknife encampments are a great way to make the most out of the land. Worked by ingenious and creative workers, they will make sure iron reserves are always well stocked. They also love drum circles. Time to reveal our second winner, which is, drumroll please, the Apache under Great Geronimo, a commander who really knows how to wreak proper havoc. A true raiding menace, the Apache will take your stuff and make it most difficult for you to get it back. Scorched earth won't stop them either. They'll take your people to restore their newly acquired lands into pristine condition. Hikorisha is in an amazing spot to gain some fertile ground and get good food for the people. Geronimo's riders will also have little limits on what they can trample as they expand from their rich cornfields. They won't need sea axes anytime soon, but the option is certainly on the table. The renegades are elites at looting and destroying. Skilled warriors and hardened survivalists, they'll be in and out their enemies' lands without them even being able to do anything about it. Meanwhile, Apache warbands will run circles around their foes and attack at the most opportune angle, With a scalpel's precision, they'll make sure nobody's safe, even when protected by an army. In Mesoamerica, only one of 7 candidates has made the cut, and it's a classic. Montezuma leads his Aztecs to glory, oiling the pyramid steps for some ritual sacrifices. The practice of taking sacrificial captives leads to great cultural contributions for the Aztec people and ensures fueling the war machine grants some extra yields. A wonder of waterborne construction, Tenochtitlan sits in a region that could be the crossroads for the entire American continent. The obvious land bridge from north to south is there, and the potential of a canal between east and west will most likely be exploited. The jaguar is a mighty terror lurking in the trees, fast and strong, and able to recover quickly from battle. Fighting these warriors is truly a scary experience. The floating gardens are a great way to make use of lakes, making them capable of feeding a thriving population with fresh fruit and vegetables. Few things are as important for world domination as having a full stomach. Moving on to Eastern North America, where 2 of the original 9 leaders are awaiting impatiently. The first is Theodore Roosevelt, aka Teddy, but make no mistake, this man is far from a plush bear. He's highly skilled in all things big stick diplomacy, and everybody knows it. So they'll all try to get on his friendly side and never complain when he marches through their lands. In fact, they'll pack his soldiers lunch. A swamp town and major power centre, Washington's hot and humid climate proves just how tough Teddy is. The East Coast is a door to the world, and the surrounding lands are ready to be taken advantage of. Rough Riders have a hard life, but they know how to survive in the wild, and they know how to cross even the most difficult terrain with little problems, especially outside the great homeland. Big Connecticut-class battleships may be hulking, expensive petrol guzzlers, but they know how to work together. No defense lines will be able to stop these sea beasts. Last but very much not least for this region, a final leader is waiting to be unveiled. Hiawatha, leader of the Iroquois, steps out from behind the curtain to speak on the stage. He has walked the Great Warpath many times, and has taught his followers how to do it as well. Nobody's as quick as his soldiers marching among the trees, I'll tell you that. Ever on the move but finally settled for good, Onondaga sits right at the gateway to the North American mainland, and thus on the doorstep of opportunity. Who knows what the Iroquois will make of it? With powerful Mohawk warriors, you'll have to watch the tree line and be wary of the forest. Especially convenient, these soldiers don't need much to get going, so there will be potentially a lot of them, especially seeing as they'll stick around for much longer than one might think, and even become a little more effective later on. Longhouses will be used to really make use of forests, running an efficient production scheme that will come to benefit every building project in the city. Now we go to the Caribbean, where 7 leaders competed, but only one has come out victorious. Fidel Castro sits at the helm of Cuba. Personally, I hope my old drinking companion Batista will take this victory, but alas, the voters did not agree with me. Fidel operates under the motto Viva la Revolucion, which means he'll have his spies spit into other countries' soup in hopes of summoning a coup. He'll also not take much shit from his own citizens when they complain about the terrible working conditions he puts them in. Havana is located in the clear blue waters of the Caribbean, the most beautiful of island regions, if you don't count the Shetlands of course. Well protected by the sea, Castro will need to get waterborne early if he wants a shot at the crown. His guerrilleros take full advantage of unrest sown by Cuban agitators, by moving covertly and providing crucial infrastructure. When working together, these soldiers can be quite scary too. Having a good dance is good for morale, especially for soldiers, making the dance hall into the perfect recruitment and relaxation ground for the military, not to mention a place of inspiration for musicians. Finally, we come to our minor civilizations, city-states if you will, for the North America region. The Cree and the Cherokee. Treaty broker Poundmaker of the Cree brings the Gunstock Warrior into play, a warrior that will fight to the bitter end, and a friend you can steal horses with. John Ross of the Cherokee trains an elite brand of tactically versed musketmen, the Aniwina, which will outsmart their opponents at every turn. This is all from the North America region. See you around soon when things start going really good. As always, I'm Robert the Bruce, checking out. Seriously though, how will they get this going? Going.